Hey friends. Last weekend, I had the opportunity to go back to Michigan where I grew up. I went back to play in a memorial golf outing that we throw for my dad and one of his coworkers. They both passed away within a couple of months of each other. They both loved golf. And so it's a fun opportunity to get together with family and friends. I'm on the team with my brothers, and we actually shot pretty well, the best we've ever done. Not enough to win, but we played really well. That money that we raised was able to be split between two different things, one for the son of the other man who passed away, and then for a mission in Detroit that my dad loved and served. While I was there, I didn't just play golf, though. I also had the opportunity to go and see my favorite baseball team. I got to go to Detroit and watch a Tigers game, and I even got to watch a win. I went with my mom, and we had a great time. It was an awesome thing. I love being able to watch my favorite baseball team. It was awesome to be there in person, especially because I live so far away. Because I live so far away, I also have a second favorite baseball team, one that's much closer. I like to watch the Brewers as well, and I'll cheer for them to win all but 3 days out of the year. Those 3 days when they play against the Tigers. It's nice to be able to have two favorites, and especially because sometimes when one team isn't playing too well, I cheer for the team that is playing a whole lot better. A couple thousand years ago, the people of Israel, well, they were kind of playing favorites. They knew that their God had delivered them from their slavery in Egypt, and they were happy to follow him through the desert. Yeah, they had their grumblings, but overall, they had a God who went before them, who led them, and they knew that they were going to the promised land that he had given them. That is, until things weren't going so well. When Moses was up on the mountain and he had been gone for 40 days and 40 nights, and they began to think, well, I don't like this God so much anymore. I haven't heard from him. He's not doing much for me. And so they instead went to their second favorite gods. They made golden calves and bowed down and worshiped that instead. As you might imagine, that didn't turn out too well for them. It wasn't a good thing for them to worship something other than the true God. And when we look back on that, we think, oh, how crazy could they be? That seems ridiculous, that they would bow down and worship something that they made themselves. But I think sometimes I begin to do my own sort of worship for the Detroit Tigers or the Milwaukee Brewers, or for my favorite foods, or for my favorite drink, or for any of my favorite hobbies and pastimes. I begin to put more effort and devotion into following them than I do my God who has delivered me from sin. That becomes a problem. That becomes idolatry. What are the things that you begin to put your devotion toward? We do that because sometimes we forget. Sometimes we forget that our God loves us so much that he sent his one and only Son to live a perfect life in our place, to die on the cross to take the punishment that our idolatry deserves, and then to rise again from the grave to prove to us that he has power even over death and that he's going to share that power with you and with me. When we begin to wonder, when we begin to think, what has our God done for me lately? Well, that means it's time to go back to his word. It means it's time to listen in worship. It means it's time for us to remember all of the good that he has done for us. I encourage you to find that time this weekend, to find yourself in a pew, to hear from his word, to sing his praises, and to prove to him and to all that he's your favorite. May God bless you as you gather around his word this weekend in worship. Peace be with you.